Welcome back users to our channel. So in today's video we will see how to install Linux Lite uh, Linux distro. So first we locate the ISO image of the Linux Lite 5.4 64-bit ISO that I got on my HDD. Right click it. I have already installed GNOME boxes, so I choose GNOME boxes here. You can check whether the Linux Lite OS is available. If the template is not available, then you can go with the default unknown OS. Click next. Now resource allocation it is showing. It will give 2 GB memory and 21.5 GB HDD virtual HDD to the installation. I think this is okay because Linux Lite does not have a big RAM requirements. 2 GB is enough for that. Even 1 GB also it will run. So click on the create button. Now it is giving me options. Start Linux Lite in safe mode, install Linux Lite now, OEM install, run memory test and restart. So we stick to the first option, start Linux Lite. Since Linux Lite is built on Ubuntu, the installer works like Ubuntu installer. It will first check the file system for consistency. If it is consistent, then only the installation can go ahead. To wait for some time for the desktop to boot up. You have to be little patient. It is taking some time to boot. It should boot into a live desktop. Now Linux Lite is using the XFCE desktop. It has decorated the XFCE desktop to the taste of the developers behind the Linux Lite. Looks good. It is very light, looks good. It performs very well. It is very stable. Normally Linux Lite will take some more time to boot into the live desktop because I already tried this Linux Lite distro last year. So first like today I first I tried to boot into live desktop. It took some time. So today also it is taking some time to boot. When you do the install on the bare metal, it will not take that much time. But since it is a VM, it is taking some more time. Now the desktop is coming up. Yes, welcome screen sound is coming. The wallpaper is still not booted. It will take some time. Yes, now. So this is the welcome app. So from this welcome app, you can install updates, install drivers, set restore points, install language support, select the dark or light theme. You can go for the online support, help manual, forums, hardware database, UEFI and secure boot options. You can use from here. Then you can contribute. There are links for the coders, for donations, for shopping, social media accounts of Linux Lite, and the feedback you can give directly to the developers. And there is option show this dialog on startup. You may or may not keep the check mark here. So I will let the check mark stay there. I will just close it down. Now we can proceed with the installation. So we click on the link for the installation. The installer gives you the option to read the release notes on boot on starting up. Now you can select a host of languages from here. So I keep English option. Then we can hit the continue button. There are host of keyboard layouts here. So by default is has chosen the English US keyboard layout, and language is English US. There are a host of other languages and keyboard here. So I keep the English US keyboard with the English US layout. So there are some other layouts of the keyboard also here, language layouts. So you can choose as according to the region of the world you are living in and the language you are using. Now hit the continue button. Yes, you can also detect the keyboard layout automatically by clicking on this button. So there is no necessity right now. My defaults are okay. Continue the hit button. Just like Ubuntu, it gives option to download updates while installing Linux and install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional format. For the sake of this demonstration of the installation, we will not download the updates, nor we will install the third-party software for graphics, Wi-Fi, and other media formats. But when you are doing the actual installation, you can select both of them. It is recommended. Now we hit the continue button. It is going slow because it is a VM. Otherwise, in installation during on the bare metal, it will be more faster. Now it is giving options to erase disk and install Linux or something else. Something else is the custom installation. So you can uh, create partitions, delete partitions, choose whatever the partition layout according to your choice. So since it is a VM and it is only a we can say it is only a demonstration, we choose the first, that is the erase disk and install Linux. Now we hit on the install now button. Now it is telling me the partition tables of following devices have changed. SCSI 1 SDA, that is the virtual hard disk. Partition 1 will be the EFI boot partition, and the partition 5 will be the extended 4 partition, that is the system or root partition. I select yes, continue. Now it will proceed to install. Now it has already selected Kolkata region, India, where I'm located. Continue. By default, it is taking the name Linux Lite. Computer's name is Linux Lite Standard PC. We can shorten it up, Linux Lite PC. We can delete all the rest of the things. Password. I choose the name Sam. I choose one password. Then hit the continue button. Here at bottom there are two options, login automatically. So what will happen is it will remember this password and log on with the password given right now every time you boot the PC or your laptop. I have chosen the second option, that is require my password to log in. So every time I boot my system, that is my laptop, it will ask me the password. I have to give the correct password and then only it will be let me log in. Now hit the continue button. We go ahead. So while we will choosing the different option in the background, the system had already started copying files. That is very neat and it reduces the total installation time. So you are already halfway done. This is the Calamar's installer. It is very easy and in a very short time you have a fully installed system. So you can right away start your productivity. All the commonly used apps are installed by default. So user has to give minimum inputs to the system and get the maximum best results from the installation and can start his productivity immediately. Linux Lite is based on the Ubuntu distro and therefore it is quite stable, quite stable. So for months and years together, you need not have a crash system. Of course, if you play with the system, you do lot of tinkering, then the system can crash and you will have to reinstall the system. Otherwise, it is very stable for the day-to-day usage. If you don't tinker with the system files, then it is going to be very stable. So we are just now finishing the copying files. After copying files, it will install the files and then we will have a system reboot. If we choose the download updates and install updates during the installation and install third party software and drivers, then the installation will take some more time depending on the bandwidth available for the PC through the network adapter. And now installation of the system has started using the copied files. If you want to see the verbose, installation verbose, you can click here. It should show you what activity exactly is going on. Now it is configuring the system locales, configuring the apt, that is the package manager, default package manager for Ubuntu and Debian distros, on which Linux Lite is based. Now it is scanning the mirrors, and then it will update the sources.list file. Configuring time zone, now creating the user. Now it will remove the packages that were copied earlier. Now it has started configuring the hardware, and it should install the drivers for the hardware. Now it is configuring the bootloader, installing the grub on the virtual hard disk. Linux Lite supports 32-bit architecture also, because it is based on Ubuntu and Debian, which both support the older systems with 32-bit architecture. So for your older PCs and laptops, you can use Linux Lite. It is very light on resource usage and very stable. So you can increase the life of your investment, IT investment, and get productivity out of your old systems. It will install some packages, though we have not chosen to install the packages, update packages and third party software and drivers. Still it will install some critical patches and everything, security patches it will go and install, and maybe some hardware also, packages also it will install. Otherwise major installation is not there, extra installation is not there, because we are chosen not to install extra packages. Upgrading Linux Lite to the next available update is very easy. You have to just go to the menu, then open the settings menu, and then hit the upgrade button to automatically upgrade to the newest available version of Linux Lite. So I think now the package download is about to complete. Just few seconds remaining now. I got around 1 to 2 MB bandwidth, so it is therefore the updates are going little slow. Otherwise, if you had 20 or 40 MB of bandwidth, the installation could have completed way back. It is running distribution packages. Okay, so I think it had downloaded the language packs, updated language packs. Now it is installing the kernel modules. It is running on the 5.4 very stable Linux kernel. 4.9 and then 5.4. These were very stable kernels. So you need not worry about the system stability and have a peace of mind like anything. Now the Thunderbird email client is being unpacked and installed. Since it is XFC, it is coming with Thunderbird. If it had been GNOME, then Evolution mail client would have been installed by default instead of Thunderbird. Now it is configuring the locales. Finally, the US local has been installed, which we had selected at the start of the installation. Now it is configuring the Linux modules, Linux headers. Now the Linux image kernel image has been installed. init ramfs has been updated. Now language packs are going on. Installation is going on, and some basic themes are being installed. English language base pack has been installed now. So installation is now finished, and we can continue testing the live image, or we can reboot and go into the installed image. So we reboot.